Life is good. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NTS Adventures. My apologies to the few viewers that we do have for not releasing a video last week, but the weather just hasn't been cooperating. We've had some cold days surrounded by some warm days. As a matter of fact, yesterday here in this part of the valley, it got to about 12 degrees. And I actually went out in the back and had a bit of a fire with Maggie and kind of hung out back there. But my wife and I were tired of sitting around. We got to get out. So we're going to go out to a lake that is pretty close to here. And it's a rainbow trout lake. They've stocked it with a very, very healthy stock every year. 2023 season, I just checked Fish Online, and they put 4,500 new rainbows in there. And they've been pretty consistently putting fish in there, rainbow trout that is, for the last, well, it goes back about 10 years. So at least 2,000, sometimes 3,000, sometimes 4,000. Last year I think it was 4,500. And the beauty of the lake is it's close to the highway. We can drive to the lake and walk out, test the ice, and punch a couple holes. A couple pieces of equipment here, some high quality stuff, some not so high quality stuff, but generally speaking it's decent stuff. And using Fluger reel, one of my favorite reels that I've been using, and I like these St. Croix ice rods. They've suited me well. Don't ask me for technical specifications because I'm not that guy. Light rod, rainbow trout. We're going to be targeting probably stock species from this year. I don't know, probably 8 inches, maybe 10 inches fish. So we're going to go a little bit lighter. Going to do a little bit of jigging and with some spoons. We're going to run a couple dead sticks, and we're going to see how she goes. And hopefully we'll get 1 or 2. Of course, we have to keep in mind safety. We're bringing Maggie with us. We'll have to bring her out in a long lead, and we'll see how she goes. So stay tuned. Hopefully you'll see us on the ice. This is always the hard part for me anyway. Making sure for the first time out we got everything. Obviously been in the freshwater mode for the last 7 months, or sorry, the open water mode for the last 7 months. And now we're going to get on some hard water. And we got to make sure we got the gear. And of course, safety is being the priority. It always is. For me anyway. We got a tent, got a mat for the tent, got a couple chairs I got our rods, I got my lures, strainer, electronics, heater. Got to get a couple more tanks from the side-by-side in the back. And I got a couple shovels. Trying to go through the list here. What do you think, Mags? What else do we need, girl? I got you. Well, we're at the lake. I just went out and took a quick look at it. It seems okay. Somebody else has been out there. But that doesn't mean anything. That's what a lot of people assume. They'll be like, well, I see tracks out there. I'm going to be good to go. But the next thing you know, it's melted and thawed, and it's actually not too good. So I'm going to make sure I'm extra safe. I'm going to go out, punch a hole or two, and see how much ice we got. Solid 4, maybe even 5. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but first ice, what I prefer to do, there's a lot of guys will go down with a spud bar and they'll check it three to 5 hits and it's good. But I'm nervous on ice, I'm not going to lie, and so is my wife. Thin ice, that is. So what I'm doing is I'm popping holes about every 20 feet and I'm measuring the ice. And if you guys check out over here, I actually got a good... I put my hand down to here, so that's what it is. So that's a good 6 inches of ice. Now technically you could probably bring something heavier on here, but we're not going to do that, because this is probably 5 or 6 inches of first ice is probably the minimum that I'll go on the lake with. Now notice that we also have Maggie tied up here for safety reasons, because her recall isn't that great yet. She's still a young pup, so we're just making sure she's safe, because I don't know what the ice is like out in the middle of the lake. So we're going to punch a few more holes. I got 4 feet of water here. I got 4 feet of water here. Because we're doing rainbow and we're going to be out here for the dusk bite, I'll be happy with 6 feet. So we'll see when we're set up. All right, well, we're set up. Like I said earlier, Annette and I took our time getting out here. This time of year you can never be too careful, honestly. Every year, never fails, somebody goes through the ice. They're rushing it, or they're inexperienced, or they're just plain bullheaded. And like I said, I don't do that. It's not worth it to me. We got 6 inches where we are right now of good clear ice, and I'm happy with that. I truly am. If I wasn't happy with it, I wouldn't be out here. So we're on a little lake here, about 48 minutes from our place. It's a beautiful little rainbow trout lake. Very, very healthy stock on it. Like I said, earlier in the clip. I think they put 4,500 in there this year and thousands in years previous. So hopefully we'll be able to get into one. We are set up in only 6 feet of water, and that's just for a couple reasons. Number one, I felt uncomfortable getting out to the ledge I wanted to get out to, which was behind me there. Even though I could see a couple of the trails, like I mentioned before, I don't take it for granted that that's safe. The conditions have changed rapidly here in the valley. Yesterday it went up to 10, maybe even 12 degrees. And today is kind of just sitting around the 0 mark. So we still have some decent ice here. But just going to spend a minute just going through a little bit of the gear here that you guys should maybe take note of for those of you that are interested in the sport. Ice fishing, it really doesn't take a lot of money to get up and going. Honestly, everything you see here, including the tent, with the exception of maybe the rods and the bait, there's probably about $600, maybe $800 worth of gear here. Depends, of course, if you buy brand new or used. Some of this stuff you can buy online quite cheap. These huts have gotten pretty modern. Annette and I own this one for our day trips. It's just a small little 2 or 3 man portable, but truthfully we find it most comfortable with 2. We also own a big insulated one that's 12 by 8, and this winter you'll probably be exposed to that, where we spend longer days out. Gives us more room, and we use it for overnight trips. And it's really nice. We can get the tent sitting around 18 to 20 degrees depending on how cold it is outside, which is very comfortable. Of course, that's sitting around the waist level, and the colder you get, it'll probably be sitting around maybe 2 or 3 degrees Celsius down below, but up top around waist level and beyond, it's easily 18 degrees. But if you look here, it's just pretty some simple rudimentary gear here. A couple shovels, some strainers that we use for cleaning out the holes. I always bring a saw in case we need to make a fire for emergency reasons, or just for sometimes recreation. Of course, I always bring 2 augers. I bring my gas auger, and I always bring a backup. It really sucks when you take the time to come out to a lake like this and for some reason your gas one doesn't work. And then of course in the tub here, I got all sorts of gear. Got the cover. I got a container there. It's a carbon monoxide detector, which is very important when you're burning some of these propane stoves. Of course, my rod bag, and that always brings a bag of snacks and whatnot. And of course, we have there the tackle box, which is basically a multi-use tackle box. I got walleye rigs in there. I got trout rigs, you name it. I'm not one of these guys who has especially for ice fishing, has a box for every specific species. I'm not that hardcore into it, quite truthfully, but I do have a variety there that works for me. A couple fish finders. Right now I'm using a flasher and board. I do have another traditional screen LCD in there, which is traditional 2D sonar. Sometimes I might pull out, sometimes not, but right now we're going to use the flasher. And so yeah, here we are, we're set up. Got a couple dead sticks here, and like I explained before, dead stick essentially denotes a stick that is not being occupied or held by a human, but it still counts as one of your lines. In the province of Ontario, we're allowed 2 per person. So we got 1 dead stick over there, you can see, 1 dead stick here, and Annette and I are each fishing hole inside. That's the 4 that we're entitled to. Rainbow trout is a beautiful species because it's a nice fighting fish. It tastes delicious, and it's open all year round here in Ontario. And so is splake. So it's really nice to be able to get out here for, well, I wouldn't call this first ice by any means. It's probably been safe for, I'm guessing, at least a week here now. So yeah, we're gonna see how she goes here. We have, of course, I got bells set up on most of my, on all my dead sticks. That way, if we don't have to constantly come out and check the rods, we can sit inside, especially when it's sitting around 0 degrees like this. We don't have to clean the holes every couple seconds, which can be a pain, and we just listen for those bells. I set my drag just a little tighter when I'm dead sticking. That way you ensure a good hook set. I mean, that's debatable because I am using for this species 4 to 6 pound test. But you just got to be careful with it. But that's kind of what I prefer, just a little tighter than what you would usually set it for, so you get that hook set. And if you have to back it off once you set, you can do so. Trying to get Meg to come out on the ice with me to go pee, but this is also very unfamiliar to her. She slipping and sliding. She doesn't have the advantage of having cleats like we do. Her claws only do so much, and considering we just had them trimmed, probably not helping her a lot, but it's okay, girl. You want to come out with Dad? Come on, girl. Come on. Come on out, girl. You're going to stay there. You're going to stay with Mom, or you're going to come? Come on, my girl. Good girl. Watch that hole, girl. Just jump. Make a big jump. Come on, my girl. Make a big jump. Oh, she's curious. She's curious. What should I do? Come on, girl. Make a leap. No, I think she's comfortable right there. Just going to check a couple of that dead sticks here. Not a whole lot going on here today, but that's okay. Like I said, my promise to our 180 viewers is that you will eventually see us catch a fish. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but this winter, believe it or not, we do have pretty good results ice fishing. But today's not the day. Got a couple guests out here. Maggie's first of many journeys she's going to have on the ice. It's all kind of unfamiliar to her. Don't go too far, girl. Come on, Megs, come on back, girl. Come on, girl. Good girl. There you go. Oh, she's negotiating it pretty good there. That's my girl. Oh, good Maggie. Good Maggie. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Ah, she's figuring it out. It's all good fun. Yeah, she's getting big. She's having fun already. There's my girl. Woohoo! There you are, my girl. Say hello to everybody. Yeah, that's my girl.